John Lester pitched well in Detroit but received a no decision. Today he'll look to get his first and give the Red Sox a series win in Toronto. Welcome to the beautiful city of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We're inside the Rogers Centre. We get ready for Game 3 of the three-game series between the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. Hi again, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, and welcome to Red Sox baseball. It's been a tough go of it so far for the Red Sox. They were swept by the Tigers in the first series of the year, and now I'm split in the first two games here against the Jays. There have been some positives so far for the Red Sox, both offensively and pitching so far. David Ortiz hit over 300 last year for the first time since 2007. Off to a good start this year, hitting at 368. Ryan Sweeney, who's not in the lineup today, 444. He had a game-winning RBI, and the Red Sox win on Monday. And in the bullpen, Scott Atchison has pitched in 2 games, including 3 scoreless innings on Monday. And who could forget Vicente Padilla, who had 4 shutout innings on Sunday in relief of Clay Buchholz against the Tigers. So there have been some good things that have gone on. And we welcome in Jerry Remy. And Jerry, last night, a good sign for the Red Sox. Kevin Youkilis starting to get it going.
Yeah, it has been a tough start for Kevin Youkilis, but he did get a couple of knocks in the ball game last night. One to the opposite field, another one up the middle, and that's certainly a good sign. I talked to Dave Magadan, the Red Sox hitting coach, and to Kevin Youkilis about what he's trying to accomplish this season. And what he's done, he's trying to go back to where he was in 2008, where his feet were a little bit more spread apart, and he wasn't wrapping that bat around his head as much as it has become over the last couple of seasons. That's been a work in progress since day one of spring training, and hopefully now it's starting to pay dividends because the Red Sox really need Youkilis' bat in the middle of that lineup.
Well, today the Red Sox will deal with Ricky Romero, who's good against everybody else, but it seems the Red Sox. He's 4-6 lifetime against Boston with a 7.12 earned run average. We're back with the first pitch right after this. Toronto, as the Red Sox and Blue Jays wrap up their 3-game series. Red Sox trying to get their first series victory of the year. And the Red Sox today, of course, with John Lester on the mound. And Jerry, we take a look at this Toronto Blue Jays team so far, and as expected, they've been pretty good so far to begin the year.
They have been pretty good. And, you know, when you look at this ball club overall, their starting pitching appears to be good. They've got some questions right now in the bullpen, just as the Red Sox have, but their offense seems to be clicking pretty well right now. They're going to be a competitive ball club. They get better and better every single year they play. Of course, led by Jose Bautista, who the Red Sox have been able to keep in check so far in this series.
Does not have a hit in the series, and of course, last night it was Daniel Bard. Our first look at him as a starter, and overall, you thought it was okay, Jerry.
I did. I really did. I thought that last night Bard pitched pretty well in the ball game. I thought as the game went on, he got better and better. I think some nerves were probably a major factor early in the ball game for him. He used his slider very effectively. Threw a couple of change-ups in the ball game, and all in all, you know, if the Red Sox had some runs on the board, Daniel Bard could have come out of that game with a win.
Well, we will hear from Daniel Bard a little bit later about his performance as he assesses what took place last night. And Bob McClure will also check in and talk a little bit about Alfredo Aceves, who was able to pick up his first save, and we'll have highlights from Shields against Verlander in a pretty good matchup between the Rays and the Tigers as that series continues in Detroit. So that's what's coming up today as the Blue Jays are taking the field. Let's check out the Red Sox starting lineup, brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Leading it off, and in center field, Jacoby Ellsbury, Dustin Pedroia at second base. Adrian Gonzalez at first base bats third. Kevin Youkilis in the cleanup spot at third base with David Ortiz at DH. Darnell McDonald gets a start in right field. Cody Ross back in left with Mike Aviles back in there at shortstop batting eighth, and Kelly Shopik doing the catching the day game after the night game. On the mound for the Blue Jays is Ricky Romero. No record yet on the year. His second start of the season. First outing against Cleveland, went 5 innings and gave up 4 runs in that first outing. We highlighted the numbers he's had against the Red Sox. Some tough numbers with an ERA up over 7 in 13 starts against Boston.
The Toronto defense is brought to you by the new film from 20th Century Fox, The Three Stooges. And Toronto has made 3 errors in the 5 games that they've played. They'll have Flip Brett Laurie at third base today. Yunel Escobar, the shortstop. Kelly Johnson at second, and Edwin Encarnacion, the first baseman. Left to right, Eric Thames, Rajay Davidson, Jose Batista, and J.P. Arancibia doing the catching for Romero.
Well, the umpiring crew, Ted Barrett, has got the plate today, calling the balls and strikes. Brian Runge at first base, Marvin Hudson at second base, and the crew chief, Tim McClellan, is the umpire at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas tardes, amigos.
And Blue Jays and Red Sox ready for the third game of the series. As the Red Sox took game one, Blue Jays take game two, and here we go in game three. Jacoby Ellsbury off to a slow start offensively. He is 2 for 20 to start the year, and even 100 batting average with 1 RBI. Ricky Romero gets ready to work. There is strike one. We're underway. It is amazing, Romero's numbers against the American League East and virtually anybody else in Major League Baseball compared to his numbers individually against the Red Sox. Just had a tough time and a lot of starts, 13 starts against Boston, but he's ahead here 0-2.
And a lot of guys in this Red Sox lineup have very, very big numbers against Ricky Romero.
He was the Blue Jays opening day starter. Started 2 consecutive opening days now for the Jays. 0-2. He may have punched at it. They check, and he did. Went around, says Tim McClellan, and strikes out.
Well, Romero quickly gets ahead of Jacoby Ellsbury and drops the breaking ball on him. Ellsbury tries to check the swing, but Tim McClellan calling him out down at third base. No question here that he did break the wrist, and the correct call made by the umpire.
One down here in the first inning for Dustin Pedroia, as Ellsbury's frustrations continue at the plate. Pedroia takes a pitch outside. Now Dustin 8 for 22 to start the year so far. Checks in hitting at 364. Just the fourth Blue Jays left-hander to start on opening day for Toronto over the years. David Wells in 2000, Jimmy Key did it in 87, 89, and Tom Underwood 1979 for the Jays. This is to center field, hit pretty well. Rajay Davis going back onto the warning track to make the catch. All kinds of speed for Rajay Davis, and about 400 to straightaway center field, and gets back there to make the grab.
Little different look in the outfield today for the Blue Jays with the left-hander Lester on the mound, and that puts Rajay Davis in the center field. Good speed, excellent speed as he goes back to the warning track, sees how much room he's got, and makes the catch right in front of the fence.
So 2 down here in the first inning for Adrian Gonzalez. 6 for 19 start for Adrian at 316. His first home run of the year over the weekend in Detroit. And takes a pitch in tight. Gonzalez 2 for 9 with a home run against Ricky Romero, but he's also struck out 5 times against Romero. It's one high in the air to deep left field. Back goes Eric Thames onto the warning track to make the catch. So some hard hit balls in the inning, but it's an 8-pitch 1-2-3 for Romero. Blue Jays are coming up. The lineup is brought to you by Jordan's Furniture. Yunel Escobar leading it off at shortstop with Kelly Johnson at second base. So Jose Batista, who's been very quiet in the series, he's in right field. Edwin Encarnacion at first base with Ben Francisco, the former Philadelphia Phillies, the DH. Brett Laurie at third base with Eric Thames getting his second start of the series in left. J.P. Arancibia catching the day game after the night game, and Rajay Davis in center field bats ninth. Red Sox had John Lester on the mound, second start, had a very good first start, but matched up against Justin Verlander with 7 innings in that start, giving up 1 run to 107 pitches on opening day against the Tigers. There is Yunel Escobar to lead it off, and he swings at the first pitch and sends one to short right. Darnell McDonald in on the run to make the catch.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. The Red Sox have made 2 errors in their 5 games. Kevin Youkilis will be at third base. Mike Aviles the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. Adrian Gonzalez at first. Left to right, Cody Ross, Jacoby Ellsbury, Darnell McDonald, and Kelly Shopik doing the catching for Lester.
1 out, and it brings up Kelly Johnson, former Arizona Diamondback, who 7 for 21 to begin the year, hitting at .333. Kelly Johnson breaking into the big leagues first with the Atlanta Braves. Did that back in 2005. Spent 4 years in Atlanta, a year and a half in Arizona, then came here to Toronto, part of the Aaron Hill deal. Swings at the 2-0 and skies one down the left field line. Cody Ross headed towards foul ground, will have a play, and he makes it. Fair amount of foul ground here in Toronto all the way down, and Ross makes the catch. 2 down. Not quite the foul ground you have in Oakland, but still quite a bit.
Quite a bit. This stadium was built also for football, which they play here, and kind of a bowl type atmosphere as we saw in some of the older ballparks.
And in Washington, which we just saw. That's kind of a bowl type stadium too.
Yes.
The new stadiums. As Jose Bautista mentioned, very quiet in the series. This makes it kind of scary. It's almost like he is due to break out after a couple quiet games against the Red Sox. He's 0 for his last 9 as he swings through that, and it's 0-2.
Good cut fastball there from John Lester to quickly get ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. Bautista does have 3 career home runs against Lester, but only hitting .205 against him. There's that cutter down and in.
On the ground softly towards Aviles at shortstop. It's a 1-2-3 7-pitch inning for John Lester. We're through 1 from Toronto. No score. Proud sponsor of opening week baseball. John Lester quickly through the first inning on 7 pitches. As we start the second inning from the Rogers Center in Toronto, it's 4, 5, and 6 for the Red Sox as Ricky Romero had a pretty quick first inning of his own, an 8-pitch 1-2-3 inning, although there were some well-hit baseballs that were to the track. 2 of them, in fact. Pedroia and Gonzalez both to the warning track. And Kevin Youkilis, part of our key matchup, brought to you by your New England Acura dealers. 8 for 20 in his career against Romero, including 3 home runs. Back on July 6th at Fenway Park, one of the home runs off Romero, as Kevin Youkilis has enjoyed success against him, and that one just into the monster seats. Youkilis grounding one left side, deep in the hole. It's short. Escobar's got a long throw, but he gets it there in time, showing off a very good arm.
Exactly right, Don. The backhanded play by Escobar, and no added motion at all. Right after catching the ball, plants the right foot and makes that strong throw to first base to get the out.
1 down for David Ortiz. DH at .368 to start the year. No homers and 2 runs batted in. They go into the shift where Brett Laurie, the third baseman, goes to medium depth right field. He is well out there in right, and they stack it up on the right side. It's different than when they stack it up for Adrian Gonzalez. They leave Laurie on the right side of the infield, but not in short right. This is down the left field line. Foul ground again. Long run for Escobar, the shortstop, who makes the catch with a shift on. He had to go a long way and makes the catch in foul ground for this second out.
Yeah, fortunately for Escobar, the ball was hit very high by David Ortiz, and unfortunately for Ortiz, Escobar is able to cover the ground. He's at a full sprint heading over to the warning track to make the catch, still with room to spare.
So David frustrated. 2 down. Darnell McDonald the batter. 1-for-6 start for McDonald, who today is in right field. Saw Monday night to begin this series. He pinch ran for David Ortiz in the 9th inning and scored the go-ahead run on Ryan Sweeney's RBI single. That's a strike, and it's 1-1. Darnell tweeting last night, giving away some tickets opening day. One of his lucky followers, some of the over 11,000. This is on the ground. A couple of hops to Laurie at third, and Romero's off to a good start, just like Lester. For an inning and a half, no score. Part for a 2-game series on April 17th and 18th. Oakland A's will visit Boston for the second homestand of the season, April 30th, May 1st and 2nd. Get your tickets now for both of these matchups at redsox.com/tickets. Well, Ricky Romero off to a very good start. He retires the first 6 Red Sox that he has faced in the game, and it's on to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Edwin Encarnacion leading it off. Then Ben Francisco and Brett Laurie featured here in the 2nd inning for the Jays. Encarnacion 2 for 3 with a home run in last night's action. Scored a couple of runs. That's a strike, and it's 1-2. Part of the Blue Jays victory last night, and a long home run for Edwin Encarnacion. 4 of his 7 hits have gone for extra bases this year. He's got 3 doubles and a home run. And grounds one foul outside of third this time. He's a guy who generally gets off to slow starts. The best months of his career have been kind of July and August, where he's done the most damage average wise, home run wise. But off to a pretty good start this season in April. That'll skip in and even at 2-2. Well, for Lester, opening day was spent with Jared Saltalamacchia, and now he works with Shopik. And you're going to see a lot of this during the course of the year. Bobby Valentine made it clear in spring training he does not buy into personal catcher situations. And it was something certainly that Josh Beckett and others got used to over the years, that they would have their regular catcher on a regular basis. Everybody's going to catch everybody, and that's kind of how it's going to be, it appears.
And this cost the perfect day to give Saltalamacchia a day off, a day game after a night game, and it gives them back-to-back days. Tomorrow a scheduled off day for the Red Sox.
Foul down the right field line, still 2-2.
And get Kelly Shopik some at-bats. You know, you got Punto in there last night at shortstop. Kelly Shopik today behind the plate.
It does appear that he wants to get some work for some of the bench guys, however short that bench may be. Only 3 guys on the bench carrying all the pitching. The Red Sox are 13 pitchers on the staff, and it'll be interesting to see how long they go with that scenario. Full count to Encarnacion. Swinging a foul tip, stays alive. Shopik could not grab it. And it's 3-2.
Once again, the cut fastball from John Lester, and just getting a piece of it, Encarnacion, right off the webbing of the glove of Kelly Shopik.
10th pitch of the at-bat, and he gets him in the end. Struck him out on the fastball. First strikeout for John Lester.
After basically almost everything inside in that at-bat, Lester goes back to the fastball away to pick up the strikeout. Not the cutter, just the straight fastball. Picks up his first strikeout of the afternoon.
Limited duty so far for the newcomer to the Blue Jays, and Ben Francisco just 1 at bat so far on the season. He is 0 for 1 as he gets a start today and takes strike 1. Ben Francisco, who broke into the big leagues with the Cleveland Indians, a couple years with the Tribe, and then to Philadelphia for parts of 3 years. .244 average last year for the Phillies. 6 homers and 34 runs batted in. Actually had a 15 home run season in Cleveland back in 2008. 30-year-old from Santa Ana, California. He was traded to the Blue Jays in December this past offseason. Swing and a miss.
Good velocity on that fastball above the belt by Lester, 93 miles an hour. Lester working at a very quick pace here early in the ball game.
On the ground left side, Youkilis will play the hop and throw out Francisco. 2 down in the second inning. The next half, Jenny Dell will get some reaction from Daniel Bard about his first start as Major League starter. That'll be coming up next half inning. 2 down in the second inning for Brett Lawrie. Lawrie with a couple of hits last night, went 2 for 4. He's 3 for 8 now in the series. On the ground, foul, and Lester's out ahead 0-2.
One thing when Lester pitches with those right-handed hitters, if he's got that cutter going, he keeps Youkilis busy down at third base. Kevin generally gets a lot of ground balls when Lester's out there and that cutter's working to those right-handed hitters.
Back past the mound up the middle, but Pedroia's got it. The off-balance throw in plenty of time to wrap up the second inning. Lester's retired all 6 Jays he's faced. We've got no score from Toronto. Banker made of historic milestones. Our home team has reached one of its own. Congratulations on this special anniversary from one Boston institution to another. Third inning back at the Rogers Center. So far, good starting pitching on both sides. Ricky Romero matched up against John Lester today. And into the third inning we go. It's Cody Ross, Mike Aviles, and Kelly Shopping. They expected in the inning. Cody Ross with another start in left field for the Red Sox, off to a 188 start. He has hit safely in each of his last 3 games. Quickly down 0-2. Ricky Romero, 27 years old, from Los Angeles, California. Now in his 4th season with the Toronto Blue Jays. This is foul to the right. 15-game winner a year ago, 15-11 and 32 starts, and logged 225 innings last year for the Blue Jays. It was by far the most that he had pitched in. Consistently getting better every year. This is line to left and in for a base hit. High hop that Thames goes up to get, but Cody Ross has got the first hit of the game for the Red Sox as we check in with Jenny Dell.
Well done. Bobby Valentine said Daniel Bard pitched well enough in his first major league start last night to beat the Blue Jays. And although Bard got the loss, giving up 5 runs on 8 hits, the former setup man said he's looking beyond the numbers.
It's easy to look at results. I think if you can look past that, and I mean, I was just going through it in my head roughly. I mean, I think they had 6 or 7 ground ball hits. Let's say half of those get fielded, which is probably a normal night. Say we catch 3 or 4 of those and get outs on them. It's probably 3 runs and about 30 pitches. And I'm probably pitching into the 7th with giving up 2 runs. I mean, it's a totally different game. So I'm looking at it that way.
18 of The Blue Jays swung and missed at 18 of Bard's pitches. Only Josh Beckett topped that number last season in one game, getting 20 in a start against the Orioles. Jerry, now that his debut is behind him, what are your thoughts on Bard's viability as a starter in the long term?
I think it's fine. I mean, I think that he has the stuff, obviously, to become a starting pitcher. I thought last night outing was good, and it got better as time went on. You know what's going to be the telling tale, Don, in my opinion, as you move closer and closer to the middle of the season, and he gets more pitches under his belt, and he starts to have those pitch counts build up a little bit.
There's a base hit for Aviles just out of the reach of Kelly Johnson.
See how he gets through the wear and tear of being a starting pitcher throughout the course of the whole season. And the other thing that comes into factor too is, will the bullpen stabilize itself? Will Alfredo Aceves be able to be the closer on this ball club?
Well, first of all, he's never gone more than 73 innings. That was last year for Bard, so that has to be taken into consideration. And second of all, you got to wonder about some of the guys that'll be coming back. Daisuke Matsuzaka will be ready.
Exactly.
Aaron Cook will be ready.
Right.
So you got some guys, some viable options where you could put him back in the pen. And I know we've spent a bunch of time talking about this, but it also depends on how he does. Maybe he does really well, he's going to stay there, I would say. I mean, if he doesn't, then you start thinking about other things. And a little bunt bid here in front of the plate. Aaron Sebia goes to third, and it's in time. They get the force out of Cody Ross at third base. Tried to sacrifice, and it does not work.
No, not a good bunt by Shopping. You try to get that ball down the third base line to pull the third baseman off the bag. This one just kind of stays right around home plate, and that gave Aaron Sebia an opportunity to pop out and make that play at third, and then plenty of time to get Cody Ross. That ball never did reach the carpet. It just stayed on the dirt in front of home plate.
15 career sacrifices for Shopping. He tried to drop one down there. Doesn't work out. 2 on, 1 out. And Jacoby Ellsbury coming up. Ellsbury struck out swinging in the first inning. The only K so far for Ricky Romero. Jerry, there have been times where Daisuke Matsuzaka has been more than frustrating for us to watch, but I have to say that I'm very excited about seeing how this works with Bobby Valentine because of Bobby Valentine's experience in Japan, his understanding of Japanese pitching, and I just think that Daisuke is going to be more comfortable than he ever has been here in the Red Sox organization this time when he comes back.
Well, yeah, I agree with that, and I also think that the time away is going to help him. As silly as that sounds, having surgery like he did, getting a break and getting away from it, reflecting a little bit on what he's been through so far, I think is going to help him. He's really made a remarkable recovery. I mean, nobody expected him to be throwing the way he is right now this early.
And he's pitching for a contract. This is to left and in for a base hit. From second base comes Mike Aviles. He will score, and the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead. So Boston operating with a lead out of the gate for a change here today, and it is driven in by Jacoby Ellsbury as Aviles comes in, and the Red Sox lead it 1-0.
Ellsbury, who is hitting 400 in his career off Romero, goes the opposite field, and then you can see Aviles coming around. He sat out last night with a little bit of an ankle problem. No problem scoring on that base hit by Jacoby.
2 on and 1 out, and it brings up Dustin Pedroia. Flied out to the warning track in center field, back by the 400 marker, but Rajai Davis was back there, the center fielder for the Jays. Slaps it foul off to the right. It's been a big series for Pedroia. Good start to the season. He homered in the first game of the series to get the Red Sox going, a game they would eventually win, his first home run of the year. Had a big double in that game too, and again last night had another big double. So it's been a very good series for Pedroia. Good start to the season. In the dirt, gathered by Aaron Sebia. Red Sox getting to Romero in this inning for 3 hits and so far 1 run. Shopik at second base, Salisbury at first base. And a 1-2 pitch coming to Dustin Pedroia. May have gone around on a pitch in the dirt. No, this is Brian Runge. And it's 2-2.
Big sweeping curveball that time by Romero, and Pedroia somehow able to check the swing. We'll get a look from the side. I think he may have got away with one right there.
Swing and a miss, and in the end, Romero gets him. Second strikeout for Ricky Romero. Second out of the 3rd inning.
The changeup that time by Romero. He's on a couple so far in the game today, and this one a very good one. Stays down in the zone, down and actually out of the strike zone.
So 2 down. First and second for Adrian Gonzalez, who took one to the opposite field, deep left field. It sent Eric Thames, the left fielder, back to the warning track, but he was there to make the catch in the 1st inning. On the ground this time to Kelly Johnson at second base. That'll end the inning, but the Red Sox grab the game's first run. It's 1-0 Boston. With the playoff preview theme show at 6, followed by 60 minutes of pregame coverage before the puck drops at the Garden at 7:30 tomorrow night. Visit NESN.com/Bruins for more playoff coverage. And of course, the NHL playoffs get underway tonight, but here is the schedule for the Bruins coming up tomorrow night. As we mentioned, NBC will have Saturday, then NESN has games 3 and 4, and NBC on Saturday. Then, if necessary, the last 2 games of the series, games 6 and 7. The Flyers and Penguins will be going head-to-head, and that'll be fun to watch. They already had a big brawl at the end of the year. And
did they?
Yes, right out of the gate. Coaches trying to get at each other, Jerry.
Oh, I did see the clip of that, yeah.
It was awesome. So it should be quite a series.
That guy that stands in the middle there.
Yes, Pierre Maguire was stuck in the middle.
He was right in the middle of all that. What's his name? Pierre Maguire?
Pierre Maguire. The man in the glass. As Eric Thames leads it off and sends one down the left field line. It is bending, hooking, foul. Cody Ross going over, but into the seats it goes.
Well, tomorrow makes for a nice day. We get an off day. We get a chance to watch the Bruins tomorrow night. And then, and then of course, opening day of the following day at Fenway. Don was making me laugh through what I was trying to say right there, but that's going to be fun sitting down tomorrow night to watch game 1.
It certainly is. Loved the Bruins' run last year and looking forward to another long run this year. Thames, Aaron Sebia, and Davis. Outside Thames, 2-2. Sent foul off to the left, out of play. We are here at the Rogers Center in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Don Orsillo, Jerry Remy, and Jamie Dell bringing you Boston Red Sox baseball in high definition and Dolby Digital 5.1 surround sound on NESN. Coordinating producer Red Sox baseball is Russ Ken. Senior coordinating director Michael Narachi. And our associate producer is Jim White. There's a line drive base hit into right field for Eric Thames. Pretty good at bat. And the first base runner and first base hit given up by Lester of the day.
Now Thames, everything was away from him, and then the breaking ball right here from John Lester, also on the outside part of the plate, but he's able to hook it in the right field for the base hit. First hit he's had off Lester in his career. He's now 1 for 4.
Lead runner on here for the Jays. JP Arencibia, the batter. Off to a slow start, 2 for 19 out of the gate for the Blue Jays catcher. Arancibia got his first home run of the year in game 1 of the year. 3-run home run in the 16th inning of that opening day game against the Cleveland Indians. Fortunately for Arancibia, only 1 hit since that 3-run home run. Pitch in the dirt. Shopik had to get away, trying to get to second base, and successfully will do so. Thames taken off right away, and he gets there. Just a step or so away from Shopik.
Shopik actually made this closer at second base than I anticipated. Let's see if it's a late break at first base by Thames. A little hesitation. And then the one hop to second base off the turf makes it a close play. But the Blue Jays with a man in scoring position.
Thames at second, nobody out. Arancibia waiting on a 1-1. Swing and a miss on a pitch in.
Lester back to the cut fastball. First pitch away from Arancibia. Next pitch cut fastball inside.
Fouled off Shopik, jarring the mask off, and it's 1-2. Arancibia in his rookie season, 23 home runs, tied for the 3rd most by a rookie catcher in Major League history, behind Mike Piazza, Matt Noakes, and it was tied with Giovanni Soto of the Cubs, who did it back in 2008. Gets it on the ground, foul this time, and it hangs at 1-2. Most ever by a Blue Jays catcher a year ago with 23. He's got good power. Blue Jays first round pick, 21st overall in 2007. Swing and a miss, and Lester strikes him out. Second K for John Lester, 1 down.
First strikeout for Lester was on a fastball away from Encarnacion. The second strikeout, the cut fastball down in. And that's just about a perfect pitch there for John Lester. That's an unhittable cutter.
And for Arancibia, that's 10 strikeouts in his last 20 at bats. 1 out runner at second base, and Rajay Davis bats. Speedster batting out of the number 9 spot. He'll start in this series as he started game 1 in left field. And a liner down the right field line. A fair ball headed towards the corner. Eric Thames will come around and score. Rajay Davis thinking 3. Throw to third base, won't be in time. It's an RBI triple, and the game is tied 1-1.
Now Rajay Davis adding some spark to the bottom of the lineup. First pitch fastball, mislocation. It was supposed to be inside. The ball stayed out over the plate, and Davis takes it down that right field corner. And with his speed, no problem getting to third base. Thames comes around the score to tie the ball game up.
So both starters had retired the first 6 batters they faced, and then both starters give up a run in the third as they start to get at him here a little bit. Davis now 90 feet away with 1 out in the inning. Infield in as Yunel Escobar stands in and takes ball 1.
Like the strategy of playing the infield in this early in the ball game, you would expect a pitcher's duel in this game today. Runs could be at a premium. You want to try to cut down as many as possible, even early in the ball game.
Lester, who threw just 7 pitches in the first inning, is about to throw his 40th pitch of his outing through 2 1/3 innings. in the air to right center field. Over is McDonald, who will make the catch. Tagging at third is Davis, and he will have no problem scoring with his speed. Blue Jays take a 2-1 lead. It's a sac fly for Escobar.
Well, again, a situation. You got a man at third base, need his fly ball, needs something up in the zone. And you can see that pitch clearly up in the zone, something that Escobar could lift to the outfield and gets the job done with a sacrifice fly.
So 2 outs, base is empty now. And it brings up Kelly Johnson. Makes the breaking ball for ball 1. Johnson fouled out down the left field line to Cody Ross in the first inning. Was up top that time on the fastball, 1-1. So Eric Thames got it all started with a single to begin the inning. RBI triple for Rajay Davis. Sac fly for Yunel Escobar. And Red Sox had their 1-0 lead quickly erased and now trail by a run. John Lester 3-0 with a 2.08 earned run average last year against Toronto. Did not lose to the Jays last year. Overall in his career, 10-4 against Toronto, and here at the Rogers Center, 6-3. Last year about as good as you can be. The 2.08 earned run average against the Jays. In tight, and a 2-out walk here for Kelly Johnson. Left-handed batter. First walk allowed by Lester. Wake up with the best analysis of Red Sox baseball on 93.7 FM WEEI right here on Nesson. Tomorrow morning, Dennis and Callahan talk to our own Jerry Remy. Plus, you'll also check in with Celtics coach Doc Rivers. It all begins tomorrow morning at 6 right here on Nesson and on WEEI 93.7 FM. 2 down, Kelly Johnson at first base. Jose Bautista grounded out to shortstop in the first inning. Is there anything you would like to tease about tomorrow that you're going to be talking about on your weekly radio show?
Well, I'm sure a lot of the talk will be about the first road trip. Hopefully it'll be after a win today. And I anticipate Bard questions. You know, it's hard for me to tell what the boys are going to come up with, but you know, whatever they come up with, I'll throw something out there, see if it sticks.
This will kick off Shopik, and into scoring position goes Johnson. Pass ball this time charged to Shopik. Just didn't catch it.
No, just didn't catch it. Right through the webbing of the glove. Or off the top of the webbing of the glove, and another man in a scoring position for the Blue Jays.
That is outside, and it's 2-1 now to Bautista. Outfield set up straight away. Runner at second, 2 down, 2 runs already in. And a strike to Bautista over the outside corner. 2-2. Shopik wanted time and gets it from home plate umpire Ted Barrett. 50th pitch of the day for John Lester is a 2-2. Runner goes for third as Bautista will ground one to first base. Adrian Gonzalez will take it to the bag to end the inning. But the Blue Jays get a pair of runs in the bottom of the third and take a 2-1 lead at the end of 3. In Boston on Twitter for tweets about exclusive contests, news, and more happening in Boston, Worcester, Cape Cod, Southern New Hampshire, and everywhere in between. Follow @DuncanBoston on Twitter today. The Red Sox run on Duncan. Well, the Red Sox had a quick 1-0 lead, but now the Blue Jays getting 2 back in the bottom of the third. Take a 2-1 lead to the 4th inning, and Kevin Youkilis leads it off.
Now, we talked about the stance of Kevin Youkilis in our open today, Don, and the fact that he's trying to widen it a little bit and not wrap that bat on his head as much as he has in the last couple of seasons. He's still got it wrapped around there, but not as drastic as it had become. And Dave Magadan said, you know, because of all that, he was late getting to the ball. So we'll see how that develops as time goes on. It's been a work in progress in spring training.
Youkilis off to a very slow start, but did have 2 hits in the game last night. And is 2 for now 17 out of the gate. Tough job being a hitting coach. You worry about so many different guys. I mean, there's going to be somebody who is always in need of your help, it seems like, and you're worried about all of them.
You know what the big problem, too, for hitting coaches are? Everybody's an expert on hitting.
Right.
You know, so when a guy's struggling, he's getting it from the hitting coach, obviously, which he should be. But there's always other people chiming in.
Other players.
Everybody. You know, everybody's got an opinion on, you know, what you're doing wrong, what you're not doing right. And, you know, that's one thing, a tough job for a hitting coach to have them, you know, ignore all this stuff and let's just focus on the basics, the things that have made you successful.
And that guy for you is your longtime friend, Walt Reniak. Dave Magadan has done a very good job here over the years and continues to do so as Youkilis sends one foul. Certainly one of the holdovers from the change in coaching staff. On the ground, couple of hops to Escobar. It's short. Youkilis retired for the first out of the 4th inning. I want to remind you to follow the Red Sox with the MLB.com @BAT12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit RedSox.com for details. 1 out in the 4th inning. David Ortiz coming up. He fouled out to the shortstop. Escobar made the catch outside of third base. I guess the difference now would be the amount of time guys spend looking at video trying to figure out what they did differently.
That's a huge advantage. I mean, you can pick any at bat at any time, any year, as long as they've had to go back and look at it when you were going very good, see what you were doing. And I get a kick out of watching it myself sometimes when they have it going in the Red Sox clubhouse.
Escobar ducking back. The shortstop will handle it again. Second time he's retrieved a pop-up from Ortiz, and there's 2 outs in the inning.
And the other thing about a hitting coach too, Don, is you have to know personalities. You have to know what's the guy was made up like, when he likes to be talked to, when he doesn't like to be talked to, how he likes to be approached. It's all kind of stuff that goes on, with it's not just dealing with the guy's swing, it's dealing with them as people too and how they handle certain situations.
I would imagine there are some guys who come off an 0 for 4 that you don't want to really go near until the next day.
They may not want to be bothered about it until the next day. They just want to sleep on it, get it out of the way, and then come back and work on it following day. Other guys want to go right away into that video room and take a look at what their at-bats that night, what they may have been able to do differently.
This could be a stretch, but I'm going to say you were one of those guys that it was wait till tomorrow to discuss this.
Definitely wait till tomorrow. Yeah, I didn't want any part of any chit-chat after a bad game.
Jerry, let's talk about your strikeout in the ninth with runners at second and third.
Sure, let's dissect that. Take us through that strikeout.
What did you see?
Obviously not much.
Well, it's McDonald now. The inning continues. Cody Ross will be next. It will not continue. McDonald strikes out to end the inning. Third strikeout. Ricky Romero. 2-1 Blue Jays have the lead. Peter Gammons on Yawkey Way for 30 extra minutes of pregame coverage. Don't miss a special edition of Friday Night Fenway presented by iParty in just 2 days. Exclusive coverage of opening day at Fenway Park gets started live at noon. Now it's 2-1 Blue Jays on top of the Red Sox as John Lester gave up 2 runs in the third inning. Edwin Encarnacion, Ben Francisco, and Brett Lawrie to bat in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Change up there from Lester. He has not thrown many of those early in the ball game, but features it on the first pitch to Francisco here in the fourth.
Encarnacion striking out in the second inning. One of 2 Ks for John Lester as this one dribbled foul. The last time John Lester faced the Blue Jays, September last year, 14-0 Red Sox win and 7 scoreless. Ended up fanning a season high 11 batters in that game against Toronto. I want to remind you that Jenny Dell will be along next half inning. Bob McClure will talk about his ace, John Lester. Ground ball to Mike Aviles. 1 out in the fourth inning. We'll see 2 great games this season with the 2012 double play packs. Create your own unique package by pairing seats for an exciting summer weekend date. The game early in the season. Get your double play packs tickets at redsox.com/doubleplay. 1 down in the fourth inning, and Ben Francisco, the batter. It's his third at bat of the season. Limited time so far. A little pop up. Adrian into foul ground. Won't get there as it fell too fast. I want to remind you that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Boston Red Sox. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Boston Red Sox. 1 out in the fourth inning. And a pop-up. Shopik gets rid of the mask and the helmet and makes the catch in fair ground. 2 down.
Had a lot of stuff to dance around there at home plate. The bat, the helmet from Shopik himself, but he's able to make the catch, turning his back to the infield. The ball's going to tail back toward the infield. But first, here comes the bat, in comes the helmet, and then back goes Shopik.
Two down in the fourth inning for Brett Lawrie. Bounce one out to Dustin Pedroia at second base in the second inning. Pitch 60 for Lester. And it's sent foul. He's ahead 0-2. Last year, John Lester got a lot of run support. He averaged over 6 runs a game from the Red Sox offense per 9 innings. Second highest rate among Major League qualifiers, only behind the Rangers' Derek Holland, who got 7.64 runs a game last year. So far, only 1 run of support so far, and he got 0 runs of support in his first effort against Justin Verlander and the Tigers. Starters 4 and 5. The Red Sox rotation right now talking it over. Lester has tallied at least 15 wins and 150 strikeouts in each the last 4 years, beginning in 2008. One of 3 major leaguers to be able to say that. CC Sabathia and Roy Halladay are the other 2. Pretty good company. That is ball 2, 2-2.
Pitch is always talking about different grips on the baseball between innings. Not always, but I mean a lot of the times they are. This is how I grip my slider. This is how I grip my curveball.
Four-seamer, yes? No. What is he doing there?
Making up a new pitch.
What is that?
The one-seamer.
Oh, we'll look forward to DeBront's next outing. See if he mixes it in on occasion.
Curveball.
3-2 is down to third base. Youkilis, a couple of steps and a throw, and he just got it. Wow. That turned out to be very close. When we come back, Bob McClure talk to Jenny Dell on John Lester's through 4, 2-1. Commitment to everyone on our team. These are just a few of the things Eastern Bank is made of. Find out more at easternbank.com. 2-1 Blue Jays on top of the Red Sox as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Bottom third of the Red Sox order. Cody Ross, Mike Aviles, and Kelly Shopping. And a liner to third. Brett Laurie comes down with a nice grab.
I tell you what, Don, I love this kid. You know, I've seen him play just a little bit last year, a little bit this year, saw him in spring training. You just got to love the way he plays the game. It's all out all the time. Line shot, step to his left, and makes the catch. The play to end last inning, he made it very close down at first base by hustling all the way.
1 out, Mike Aviles, now the batter. They got Laurie in the deal from the Milwaukee Brewers for Sean Markham, a very good pitcher. And this is sharply hit to second. Kelly Johnson throws out Aviles. 2 down as we check in with Jenny Dell.
Well done. John Lester's opening day performance was excellent by any standard, and then you look at the strength of the Detroit lineup, and it's even that much more impressive. Pitching coach Bob McClure discussed the biggest factor in why Lester was so successful on Thursday.
Location, you know, mixed speeds and location, which is, you know, really most of the time it's location. So the better they're able to locate, especially down the way, usually the better they're going to do. So I think that coming right out of spring training did a good job.
Lester's had much success here in Toronto. Don, he's won 6 of his last 7 decisions.
Yeah, it's been a comfortable place for John Lester. As I mentioned, 3-0 against him last year and 6-3 overall in his career. And well, Lester's pretty much comfortable everywhere, but here in Toronto, his pitch misses to Kelly Shopping. I don't think it was too much of a surprise that he was named the opening day starter, 2nd year in a row. And Bobby Valentine said that in his meeting with Josh Beckett on New Year's Day, Beckett made it clear that he thought Lester should be the opening day starter. So that made the decision for new manager Bobby Valentine even easier.
Well, I think he would have made the same decision anyway.
1-1 is high, 2-1. Shopping reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd inning. This is second look at Ricky Romero. Down the third base line, Laurie with a throw that is in time. It's a 7-pitch, 1-2-3 5th inning for Romero. It's a 2-1 Blue Jays lead. The things Eastern Bank is made of. Find out more at easternbank.com. Well, it is 2-1. The Blue Jays on top of the Red Sox. And let's see what you're saying today. Run support, highly valuable commodity. You have pieced together rotation. Hopefully this is a sign of things to come. Red Sox did get a run early. Happy birthday to Jason Varitek. It is weird to not see the captain around on a daily basis. And some laundry issues, apparently.
Only got one sock back out of the dryer.
I was trying to figure that out and get it all together. Got to get it ready for Friday's opening day. Eric Thames leads it off, fouls it off. Jason Varitek turning 40 years of age today. Happy birthday to the captain. Thames with a single to right field in the third inning that got things started for the Blue Jays. And it's his second look at Lester. Rounds it this time to first. Gonzalez will take it himself to the bag for the first out of the fifth inning. You are just joining us in the third inning. The Red Sox would get on top. Jacoby Ellsbury to single to left field. It would score Mike Aviles, and the Red Sox had their first lead. But back came the Jays in the bottom of the third inning. Rajai Davis with a triple. Scores Eric Thames. Davis would then score on a sac fly, and Toronto has a 2-1 advantage. As the Blue Jays bat here in the bottom of the fifth inning, has been well pitched, as you might imagine. Both opening day starters going head to head here today, Lester and Romero. As JP Arancibia takes strike one. Arancibia off to a 2-for-20 start. Strikeout victim in the third inning, and he's already got 10 strikeouts on the season of the 20 at bats he has. Very good pitching matchups going on today because of all the opening day starters kind of matching up again today, and new teams. Verlander and Shields going today in Detroit. We'll have some highlights of that later. The 1-2 pitch is high, and it's 2-2. Josh Johnson and Roy Halladay going head to head a little bit later. Swing and a miss, and another strikeout for Arancibia. Third strikeout for Lester. Two of them have been the Blue Jays catcher.
Yeah, first time he got him was on a cut fastball down and in. This time it's the fastball away from Arancibia. So he's really got him guessing so far in this game today.
2 down, 6 in a row retired by John Lester, and it brings up Rajai Davis, who was trouble for him in the third inning. Davis with a triple to drive in a run. Rajai Davis, formerly of the Oakland A's, also with the Giants and the Pittsburgh Pirates, as he fouls one off to even the count at 1-1. He can flat out fly if he can get on base. Just a matter of getting on base. Most stolen bases in any season. Had 50 thefts for the Oakland A's in 2010. Down to third. It is a foul ball. Youkilis fires it across, but it is foul, according to the home plate umpire Ted Barrett. It's time now for today's AT&T trivia question. Which Red Sox pitcher holds the team record for most games with 10 or more strikeouts in a season? The answer for you a little bit later. Well, that foul ball fooled everybody, including the grounds crew who had run out onto the field.
Yeah, everybody was ready to bust a move out there, right?
Ready to rake what dirt there is in the infield around the bases. They came flying out from the left field fence. And then back to where they came from, wherever that is.
Yeah, excellent hustle, though. Excellent hustle. It's out in left field here at the Rogers
Who
center.
went around, says Runge, strike 3. Davis is out. And it's 4 strikeouts for Lester. We're through 5, 2-1 Toronto.
When you're here, you can be anyone. Foxwoods, anything but ordinary.
Top of the Red Sox order, Jacoby Ellsbury to lead it off here in the top half of the 6th inning. Blue Jays on top 2-1. Ellsbury's RBI single back in the 3rd inning, giving the Red Sox their lone run of the day so far. Grounds one right side. It's picked by Johnson, and off balance, twist and throw with a nice play. Pretty good defense turned in here by the Jays today. 1 down.
Now that's what happens. You got a couple of pitchers who are not wasting any time, throwing strikes, scoring contact. You generally get some good defensive plays behind you. And the most recent right there by Kelly Johnson.
Nine in a row retired by Ricky Romero. 1 out in the 6th inning for Dustin Pedroia. Dustin has flied out to the warning track in center field and struck out swinging. Had a 5-pitch at bat last time up. He's one of only 2 Red Sox batters to have seen at least 5 pitches. Guys have been pretty aggressive against Romero. Allowed 3 hits. The RBI single for Ellsbury, a single for Cody Ross, and a single for Mike Aviles. There's a strike, and it's 3-1. Adrian Gonzalez waiting on deck with 1 out here in the top half of the 6th inning. '60th pitch for Romero, and it is clanked off Aaron Sebia. Full count. Get the new book, Fenway Park, from the Boston Globe and Running Press, to relive 100 years of baseball history. They wrote the book on Fenway. Get yours wherever books are sold.
I've got that book. I've already seen it. It's a very, very good book.
Incredible book. 3-2 pitch on the ground to short. Escobar. He's got a long way to throw it, and he'll get it there. Nice pick on the other side by Encarnacion. And the appreciative look from Escobar to his first baseman. 2 down.
Don't see a lot of Encarnacion at first base. We see him a lot as a DH, but here he makes the pick. Not a difficult pick at first base, but still able to come up with it and record the second out.
Two down in the 6th inning. That was just Ricky Romero's first 3-ball count of the game. So guys have not been hanging around very long against him. Adrian Gonzalez today 0 for 2. He's flied out to the warning track in left and grounded out to second base. To right center field, and from right making the catch is Bautista. Veering off was Rajay Davis. The two coming together out there, but some good defense for the Blue Jays today. Next half, we'll check in on that Rays-Tigers game. In a season, and the answer, Pedro Martinez. Pedro racked up 19 games with 10 or more strikeouts during the '99 season that saw him record 313 Ks. He's the only pitcher in Red Sox history with 300 strikeout season. That season, Pedro had only 10 starts where he didn't have 10 or more strikeouts. John Lester has 16 career games with 10 or more strikeouts. 3 of those have come here at the Rogers Center, one in each of the last 3 years. After we see Yunel Escobar do something, we will check in with Tom Caron and get an update on that game in Detroit. Here is a foul ball, and down in a heap goes Escobar.
Looks like he got it right off the top of the left foot. He's got the guard on the right foot. Oh, he's got the guard on the left foot, excuse me, and that's where it goes off, right on top of that.
While we have a moment, let's check in with Tom Caron for a game break. TC. Okay, Tom, thanks very much. Well, we saw Verlander firsthand, as good as there is in the game.
He was nasty against the Red Sox with his fastball that ranged from 91 to 98. Curveball that just drops off the table. You'd have to say, well, of course he's the best in the game. He was the MVP last year.
Cy Young.
Yep.
Well, even with all that padding on, it looks like Escobar found a spot in the front of his foot. Or at least it still hurt even with the padding on. He's been in a good bit of pain. Lester ready with the 0-1 pitch. Escobar chops it foul.
Kelly Johnson making a nice play in the inning, last inning, to get an out, and then Batista covering a lot of ground out in right field, taking extra bases away from Adrian Gonzalez.
80th pitch is high, and it's 1-2. 7 in a row retired by Lester. It's been a 4 strikeout day, 1 walk. He's given up just a pair of hits, but trails 2-1 right now to the Blue Jays. Escobar is flied out to right and a sac fly in the 3rd inning. To third base. Euclid's backed up on it now. Plants and throws for the first out of the 6th. Escobar retired. Coming up immediately following the game today, stay with us for WB Mason's Red Sox Extra Innings Live. TC, Eck, and Jenny. Eck will break down John Lester's 2nd start of the season. Here are the starters' post-game comments plus Jenny's conversation with Bobby Valentine. He gives you his thoughts on the series finale. It's all coming up after the game, only on NESN. Kelly Johnson fouled out down the left field line in the 1st inning. Walked in the 3rd and now sends one foul outside of 1st.
Don't forget, on Friday, a 2-hour pregame show for NESN begins at noontime. Before the first pitch of the game, about 2 o'clock. And we'll be covering all the pregame ceremonies live from Fenway Park.
Back to the mound. Lester will flip underhanded, and that'll take care of Kelly Johnson. The 2nd out of the 6th inning.
And we get to see TC in person. I mean, last time we saw him was down in Florida.
Yes.
We had to go down for a photo shoot. And will Tom start his playoff beard, do you think?
I would think he would. He has each of the. He did it last year. They won the cup, right?
Yeah.
So he's got to do it again. They didn't do it last year.
Well, you shouldn't do it this year either because they won the cup.
Right. Batista grounds it foul. And a lot of those guys on, of course, after the Stanley Cup championship. Sean Thornton, who I tried to get him to beat you up, but he
Oh, I
wouldn't do it.
asked him if he wanted to work me over just to get in shape.
I said, he said he doesn't hit people unless he's paid. No. And I offered to pay him just to push you around a little bit, but he still wouldn't do it.
I'm glad he didn't accept the money from you, Don. That was awfully nice of you. I didn't realize you tried to grease his pocket.
Well, I think it was the amount of money. I tried to give him $5, and apparently that wasn't enough.
That's not enough to beat me.
Push the Rem Dog around. There is strike 3 over the outside corner. More frustration for Bautista. He's done nothing in the series, at least offensively. 2-1 Blue Jays. Top half of the 7th inning, 2-1 Blue Jays on top of the Red Sox. Kevin Youkilis leading it off here at the top of the 7th inning. Youkilis has bounced to short twice today, 0 for 2. Jerry, you're talking about his stance trying to get it back to 2008. Seems like it is still pretty high up over his head.
It does, but not quite as wrapped as badly as it's been for the last year or so.
It would make sense. It would take a long time to get to the
hitting
zone.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that he and Dave Magadan are working on right now.
Did you say something about his footwork too?
Trying to spread his feet out a little bit more. Now, he's not, widespread by any means, but he was even closer than this.
Wow.
And this is close.
That's a strike. Youkilis disagrees. Full count.
Youkilis thought the ball might have been down and away on that 3-1 count. Instead, it picks up the outside corner.
Broken bat grounder down to third baseman Brett Laurie. First out of the 7th inning. Well, tonight at 10, join Darren McIntosh for NESN Daily presented by Sun Life Financial. Naoko Funayama will fill you in on Nathan Horton's availability for the postseason. They'll get you caught up on the other NHL playoff action and get you a preview of the Sox home opener against the Rays on Friday. All this and much more on NESN Daily tonight at 10, only on NESN. 12 in a row sent down by Ricky Romero. He's got one out in the 7th inning and now deals with David Ortiz. Ortiz fouled out to Escobar, the shortstop, in the 2nd, and then popped out in fair ground to Escobar in the 4th inning. Next half, in case you have missed the game to this point, we'll have the game summary for you to get you all caught up on what's taking place here so far today. That is rattled foul, and Ortiz is down 1-2. Covidien, the global healthcare products company, is a proud sponsor of the Red Sox Foundation, helping to address health needs in our communities. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Big Papi with 1 out in the 7th inning. Two and two. Ninth career opening day start for David Ortiz last Thursday for the Red Sox. More than any other current player on the roster. As he looks at ball 3, think of all the changes that have taken place, and now Big Papi, kind of the elder statesman.
And there was some question whether he'd be around this season. Big Papi signing the 1-year contract.
Wanted the multi-year deal, as you might imagine, coming off of another pretty good year, just shy of 30 and 100. Ground ball foul.
Well, yesterday was giveaway day, wasn't it? A lot of guys making money yesterday.
Yep, 5-6 year contracts being handed out left and right.
What was that, Tuesday? It was Tuesday yesterday, huh?
Yeah.
Tuesday the 10th. So remember that date, because maybe that's money day.
Carlos Santana of the Indians, Brandon Phillips of the Reds. The shift is on, and the throw to first base is in time to get Ortiz. Never miss another Sox game. Go to NESN.com/schedule now to download the full season schedule into your favorite calendar program at home, in the office, or on the go. We'll remind you when the game is on. Download it now at NESN.com/schedule. That last at bat, a 7-pitch at bat, the longest at bat of the day for a Red Sox hitter. And Ortiz, it ends in frustration as he grounds out to Kelly Johnson, the second baseman. This one fouled off to the right, 0-2.
Now, this is certainly the best that we've seen of Ricky Romero in many of his starts against the Red Sox. Usually the Red Sox knock him around pretty good, but not so this afternoon.
We mentioned off the top, great against everybody but the Red Sox in his career. Four and 6 in 13 starts against Boston with an earned run average of 7.12 coming in. It's outside, and it's 2-2. Has been better lately. Last start, he did beat the Red Sox September 14th at Boston. 8 innings, giving up 3 runs.
Yeah, I think he had a couple of wins against the Red Sox last year.
Full count now to Darnell McDonald. He was 2-2 last year in 4 starts, but still a 6.56 ERA against Boston a year ago, and a different guy today. 3-2. McDonald to left, sending Thames back. He's got room and makes the catch that ends the inning. 14 in a row retired by Ricky Romero. Somebody said Carlos Santana. Here is some. And the Red Sox on the board to get it started today. Ellsbury with a single to drive in Mike Aviles. And the Red Sox had a 1-0 lead, but the Blue Jays came right back in the third with 2 runs. Rajay Davis with a triple into the right field corner. Eric Thames would score, and then a sac fly for Escobar would put the Jays on top 2-1. John Lester has pitched very well today, but not much run support. As John Lester has gone the first 6 innings, thrown 87 pitches. He's retired the last 10 Blue Jays in a row. And it's Edwin Encarnacion who leads it off for Toronto. Encarnacion struck out in the 2nd inning. Grounded out to short in the 4th inning. Today's attendance 25,285. Very similar to the crowd we had last night. And played day baseball here in the middle of the week in Toronto, but a good crowd on hand. It's been a 5 strikeout performance day for John Lester. 1 walk and only 2 hits allowed. In the air to left field. Ross going back. He'll have room as he makes the catch on the warning track. The ball kind of died and left, and it's out number 1.
The Amica Pit Zone is brought to you by Amica Insurance. Amica Insurance is not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. 5 strikeouts on the afternoon for John Lester. We'll take a look at 4 of them. That was a fastball away. Of course, the cutter down and in. Another fastball away. That was to Aaron Sebia. And a curveball doing the honors for John Lester.
One down in the 7th inning for Ben Francisco, who is 0 for 2. Grounded out in the 2nd inning. Popped out in the 4th. And there for strike 1 to Francisco. Outfield straightaway on Francisco. Fly ball to center field. Kobe Ellsbury drifting back. And there's 2 down in the 7th inning. Friday afternoon after Red Sox first pitch. Stay with us for Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by Uno's with TC, Eck, Peter, and Jenny. Josh Beckett hopes to rebound from a rough outing in Detroit Saturday against the powerful Tigers lineup. Friday, he'll return to Fenway Park to seek his first win of the season on a special day on the calendar. Opening day, Fenway Park 2012. Our live coverage of all the festivities begins Friday at noon, and it's only on NESN. His ticket brings you the pitching line for John Lester, who is 6 2/3 deep into his outing. Retired 12 Blue Jays in a row and deals with the Jays' third baseman Brett Lawrie. Falls behind 2-0.
One of the reasons the fans in here, Toronto, love Brett Lawrie is the way he plays the game, and you're going to see him going down the line as hard as he possibly can, running as hard as he can, and almost beats it out, and then making a fine defensive play down at third base. Very popular player up here in Toronto in a very short period of time.
He was a first-round draft choice, and as we mentioned earlier in the series, 17th Canadian to play for the Blue Jays. He's 22 years of age, from Langley, British Columbia.
It's the defensive play that I was talking about, taking a base hit away. It's just the way he plays the game.
Traded for Sean Markham in December of 2010. Pitch number 100 for John Lester is line foul. Last year, Lawrie disabled the remainder of the season after September 21st. He fractured his right middle finger. Down and in, full count. Now, Lawrie, Canadian born. I mentioned British Columbia, but he resides in Peoria, Arizona during the offseason. In the air to right. Back goes McDonald to make the catch on the warning track. That ends the 7th inning. We played 7. It's 2-1 Blue Jays. Free checking that's got nothing to hide, which means no fees or any other type of loss. Check out what else we're made of.
Problem?
Yes. Slight problem. I was
having a hot dog?
Choking on a hot dog.
Oh, okay.
But I'm okay now.
We didn't see that in the booth last night.
No, we didn't. Part of the booth tour. What I wanted to say was that Eastern Bank,
they get it.
It means no fees or any other types of curveballs. Check out what else we're made of at easternbank.com. That was close. I almost needed the Heimlich from you.
I wasn't paying even attention. That
could have been dead. The 0-1 is outside to Cody Ross, who leads it off. It was a very dangerous situation.
Well, that was a very big hot dog you were eating.
Yes, and there was only 90 seconds to do it. We haven't asked Jerry question. How often do you guys?
Well, Don just sat himself a gigantic hot dog between innings, and he was able to scarf it all down between innings. That's why I was choking doing the promo. I very seldom eat between innings.
Well, I heard Russ Kent say 20 seconds, and I had like this much left. And in it went, and it didn't go well. Did he go? Yes, he did. Brian Runge rings him up. Cody Ross, 4th strikeout victim for Ricky Romero.
El Romero stays on target. He's got that curveball going. The last hit the Red Sox had came back in the third inning when they had 3 hits in that inning. There's the breaking ball, and there's the swing by Cody Ross.
There's a ground ball to third base. Lowry will cut it off. And he throws out Mike Aviles. 2 quick outs. 16 in a row retired by Romero. Hess and Hess Express are proud sponsors of the Red Sox and the Red Sox on Nesson. During the 2012 season, Hess and Hess Express will donate $500 to the Red Sox Foundation for every Red Sox home run. Hess and Hess Express committed to helping the cause. Now, in all honesty, we really don't eat a lot in between innings very often. We don't have
an occasional hot dog,
yes.
but not very much at all.
Day games generally mix in a hot dog somewhere in the middle. In there for strike 1 to Kelly Shopik.
See, you're still digesting that thing right
Yes,
now.
there's still parts of it on the side of my mouth. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. The only thought that was going through my mind was, because I didn't know where the trash can was, do I go out over the top? And that would have been disgusting into the stands.
You mean if you had
Yes,
choked?
if I was in real trouble.
Oh, I'd have taken care of you.
I don't know.
Well, we needed some runs.
0-2. Swing and a miss. Shopik strikes out. How about Ricky Romero? An 8-pitch inning. 7.5 deep. We'll check out the road ahead. We come back. Season of Fenway Park with Josh Beckett on the mound. He had success against the Rays last season, posting a 0.78 ERA in 3 starts. That included his first career 1-hitter on June 15th at Tropicana Field. Nesson will have all the opening day ceremonies as well. We begin our live coverage at 12 Friday afternoon with Red Sox first pitch. Josh Beckett looking to bounce back after the tough outing in Detroit against a very good Tigers team. Jenny Dell had the chance to talk to Josh Beckett today. You can hear that interview tomorrow night on Nesson Daily on the eve of opening day. As Josh Beckett returns to Fenway Park. Well, this has been a very well pitched game today by John Lester. He's retired his last 13 batters in a row. Just no support for John today. And matched up against another ace. First it was Verlander. And today it has been Ricky Romero.
I have to say, Don, this is the best that we have seen Ricky Romero against the Red Sox.
No doubt about it. He's retired the last 17 Red Sox he has faced. Red Sox have not had a man on since the 3rd inning. And he is through 8. And very much in the zone. But still a very tight game, 2-1. Eric Thames, then J.P. Arancibia, Rajay Davis. They make up the bottom 3rd of the Blue Jays order here in the 8th. Boston Red Sox baseball on Nesson is brought to you by Burger King, the proud sponsor of opening week baseball. Leadoff hitter here for the Jays in the 8th is Eric Thames. He is one of only 2 hits off John Lester today. And he struck him out this time. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. 6 strikeouts for John Lester.
Now that cut fastball and straight fastball today have been very solid for John Lester. That's the straight fastball at 94 right by Thames. Of course, Thames had a big hit back in the 3rd inning, start that inning off where they got 2 runs.
That was pitch number 108. One more than his first outing of 107 in Detroit against the Tigers. There's J.P. Arancibia, who hits a 1-hopper to second. Pedroia spins and throws him out. And there's 2 down in the 8th inning. 15 in a row retired by Lester. Wake up with the best analysis of Red Sox baseball on 93.7 FM WEEI and right here on Nesson tomorrow morning Dennis and Callahan will talk to our own Jerry Remy. Plus, they'll also check in with Celtics coach Doc Rivers. All begins tomorrow morning at 6 right here on Nesson and on WEEI 93.7 FM.
Should be on tomorrow morning about somewhere around 8:40.
2 down in the 8th inning. Is that your normal time? I thought you used to be around 9 o'clock. No?
I used to be 9, but now that it's on Nesson, I'm on a little bit earlier.
Make sure you're on TV, too. 1-0 is in the dirt, and the count is 2-0. It's not a live shot from your house, right? It's just a still photo.
No, absolutely not, no. Nobody knows where I live. It's great.
Davis fouls it back to the screen, 2-1. 6 strikeout performance for Lester. High for ball 3. He has walked only one batter today, and that was Kelly Johnson back in the 3rd inning. That's ball 4. First base runner for the Blue Jays since the 3rd inning. It snaps a stretch of 15 in a row. Retired by Lester.
And it's one guy you really don't want at first base in a very close ball game because Davis can fly. He'll be trying to get a good jump. He'll be trying to steal if he gets that opportunity.
50 stolen bases a couple years ago with the A's. Top of the order, Yonel Escobar. He's driven in a run with a sacrifice fly back in the 3rd inning. John Lester operating with 114 pitches, and there is nobody warming in the pen. There goes Davis, and they got it picked off. Maybe he's safe. Lester saw him going, so he fired to first, and Davis beats it anyway.
Two changeups, really. A changeup from Lester to Adrian Gonzalez, and that kind of threw Gonzalez. He had the rush. He bounces it, and Davis in with the head first slide. See Gonzalez have to go up and try to get that ball from Lester. It was not thrown hard to first base. And that's the difference.
Now Bob McClure out to talk to Lester. Interesting to see today as out goes McClure. Ricky Romero is in great shape pitch count wise, 90 pitches, so he'll be back out for the 9th, no doubt. Had this been a different pitch count for Romero, which direction John Farrell would go after a couple of blown saves from Santos. Yeah, they got Cordero out there as well, but no doubt we'll see Romero again in the 9th. He's retired 17 Red Sox in a row and is only at 90 pitches. For every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox earn a save, CVS Pharmacy make a donation to Boston Children's Hospital towards their $25,000 donation this season. Two outs, Davis at second base. Line into center field, a base hit. Rajay Davis being waved around. The throw from Pedroia is not coming. Toronto takes a 3-1 lead, and they take a 2-run lead. First hit in this game for either side since the 3rd inning.
Well, they had Rajay Davis picked off at first base, but they could not complete the play, and that certainly hurts. That should have been the 3rd out of the inning. Instead, a base hit follows this, and Davis scores with no problem. Cut fastball, one of the few today that stayed up in the zone for John Lester. And Escobar with the base hit picks up his 2nd RBI of the day, his 2nd of the season.
Johnson to center field. Ellsbury moving back will make the catch that ends the inning, but the Blue Jays pick up an important run. They lead by 2, 3-1 as we head to the ninth. And by Kia Motors. Well, the Blue Jays on top of the Red Sox 3-1. They get an insurance run in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Ricky Romero back on the mound for the Jays. Some defensive changes for the Blue Jays. Into the game is Kobe Rasmus. Started the first 2 games in center. Comes in here defensively in the 9th. And moving from center to left is Rajay Davis. Eric Thames coming out of the game. 17 in a row retired by Romero. And it is ball 1 to Jacoby Ellsbury. There's the breakdown by inning for Romero. Gave up the run in the 3rd inning. He's got 5 innings under 10 pitches. Last year he had 4 complete games. And trying to wrap this one up here today. 92 pitches deep into his outing. Inside ball 3. And out goes Aaron Sebia. Action in the pen. The closer is up. Sergio Santos up in the bullpen. He already has 2 blown saves in 2 tries. Three and 0 to Ellsbury. This is 3rd 3-ball count of the game. As Ellsbury takes a 4-pitch walk and heads down to first base. And the Red Sox bring the tying run to the plate here in the 9th. That is the first base runner for Boston since the 3rd inning. Breaks up a string of 17 in a row retired by Romero. And it's just the first walk that he's had today. Dustin Pedroia 0 for 3 today. He's not alone in that category. They flied out to center in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd, grounded out in the 6th. And he takes strike 1.
Romero having trouble getting his fastball over to Ellsbury. Tries a changeup and gets that over for a strike to Pedroia.
That'll skip in. Aaron Sebia keeps it in front of him. No advance for Ellsbury at first. Not close. 2-1, and Romero all of a sudden here out of rhythm. After being in an incredible rhythm all day. Double-barreled action. Mark Melancon and Alfredo Aceves in the pen for Boston. Most of the damage the Red Sox have done this season has been late in games. They have the right people coming up here in the 9th. 2-1. Inside 3-1. 8 of the 22 runs the Red Sox have come in the 9th inning. Inside ball 4, and it's back-to-back walks for Romero. So all of a sudden he has come unglued here a little bit. He was in such an incredible groove, and now he walks the first 2 that he faces in the 9th. And decisions here for John Farrell to be made here in relatively quick fashion with Adrian Gonzalez coming up.
Yeah, I think that Romero probably gets one more hitter in Adrian Gonzalez and see what he can do with him, the lefty against the lefty.
That run the Jays picked up in the bottom of the 8th looms large now. Adrian 0 for 3. Slide out to left, grounded out to second, flied out to right. 100th pitch of the day for Ricky Romero, and it's strike one. Swing and a miss. Gonzalez badly fooled on that pitch. 0-2.
He looks totally different now against Gonzalez. Looked like he was aiming the ball against both Ellsbury and Pedroia. Now he's back to throwing it. Curveball that time. Off balance swing by Gonzalez.
Gonzalez grounds it softly foul and protects the plate, stays alive. John Lester working the first 8 innings today. 2 runs in the third, a run in the 8th. Guy who's used to getting better than 6 runs a game offensively, support-wise last year. Just 1 today so far. It's outside, 1-2. On deck, Kevin Youkilis here in the top of the 9th. Gonzalez hits a fly ball to center field, sending Rasmus back to the warning track to make the catch. Tagging are both runners. The throw to second base is going to be not in time, and getting in was Pedroia. And barely getting in was Pedroia.
Oh, very good base running there by Dustin Pedroia. Knowing the ball is not going to go out of the ballpark, he goes back to tag up. And he knows how deep Rasmus in. He's back to the warning track. So he's going to take that opportunity, and he gets in there head first.
So the tying runs in scoring position right now for the Red Sox. John Farrell is at the mound, and he is going to make the change. Romero goes 8 1/3 innings, and he leaves the hill with a 3-1 lead. Romero's day is over, as the Red Sox have the tying run in scoring position right now with the closer Sergio Santos. 4th appearance. He is 0-1. He's blown 2 saves already for the Jays. Last year, closing games for the White Sox, had 30 saves last year in Chicago. Youkilis takes a look at strike one.
Now Santos has got off to a very tough start for the Blue Jays. Pretty nasty slider there to start off Youkilis.
28-year-old from Yorba Linda, California. Youkilis has grounded out 3 times today. Takes strike 2.
Back-to-back sliders. Quickly getting ahead. No balls and 2 strikes.
Cordero and Oliver up in the pen. And 0-2 to Kevin Youkilis. Down and away, 1-2. A blown save for Santos. Ryan Sweeney, part of the damage against the Blue Jays closer, able to get this base hit. Scored Darnell McDonald, and the Red Sox come from behind to get the victory in their first victory of 2012. The 1-2 pitch. Youkilis grounds it foul. Don't forget, coming up immediately after the game, to stay with us for WB Mason's Red Sox Extra Innings Live. It's all the post-game coverage you'll need right here on NESN. Ellsbury at third base, Pedroia at second base, 1 out in the 9th. outside. 2-2, 97 that time on the fastball.
Yeah, he's got good fastballs, no question about that. 97. We saw the tight slider that he's thrown to Youkilis.
Youkilis strikes out. 2 down in the ninth. A big out for Santos.
Back to the slider after wasting one fastball. Goes back to the breaking ball. Nasty.
So it comes to this. Second and third, 2 down, and David Ortiz. He has fouled out, popped out, grounded out. Tying run at second base right now for the Red Sox. Ortiz takes ball 1. Ortiz grounds towards short. Escobar's got it. Throw to first is good, and the Blue Jays beat the Red Sox. They take 2 out of 3. And Sergio Santos comes in and shuts the door. Well, what a pitching duel we had here today, Jerry. Last year, the Red Sox went home 0-6. This year, they go home 1-5. It's certainly upsetting to begin the year.
No, it certainly is. You're right, Don. And you know, they ran into a guy today that they've had great success against in the past, but he was outstanding. John Lester was also outstanding for the Red Sox. They had an opportunity with second and third against a guy that's been struggling and could not get the job done in the ninth inning.
So 3-1 is the final score from Toronto for Jerry Remy and Jenny Dallin. Don Ursullo saying good afternoon from the Rogers Center. Join us again Friday afternoon for one of the most special days of the year, opening day at Fenway Park. Our live coverage begins at noon as we begin the 100th anniversary celebration of Fenway Park. This has been a presentation of NESN, New England's most watched sports network. It's time now for Tom Caron and our NESN HD Television Center.